Good morning, crafty friends. Hello and happy Tuesday. Welcome. I'm glad you're joining in today. As you're hopping on, definitely say hello in the comments, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. I would love to hear from you. I am excited about today. We are falling back into crafting. I know lots of us, things get busy during the summer. We've got lots of vacations. The kids are home. All of those kind of things can sometimes cut into our crafting time, and it's just beautiful outside, or sometimes it's too stinking hot outside and we want to get inside. But one of the things that I think comes back around with the fall season is just the love of crafting, and we have lots of occasions coming up to give for with Halloween and then Thanksgiving and then Christmas. So it's really packed, and we are falling back into crafting. Putting summer behind us, sadly, although the weather wants to have something to say about that. It is going to be 86 here today, which is just beautiful. Whitney was saying, maybe you want to wear something fall for the fall live. Wear a fall sweater. And I looked in my closet this morning and I thought, nope, not going to do it. It's just too hot for a fall sweater. So it is hanging on a little bit more outside, which is a-okay with me. I love what the fall season brings, except for what comes after it. So let's say hi to a few people today before we get to talking about what we have for you today. Good morning. Hello. Marilyn's here from Michigan. Leslie, Carrie in Texas, Deb in Omaha. Hello, Sarah. Thank you. She said pretty top today. It's actually a dress. So I got to get one more dress day in for the season before it gets cold. Good morning, Deneen, Kansas City. Hello, EC's out in San Diego. Always 75 and sunny in San Diego, right? Hello, Joan and Joanne and Diane. Awesome. Lots of you popping on today, and thanks for leaving your comments. I love to feel like I'm not alone. I'm not just talking to a screen. You guys are all out there. I can see your comments popping by as we continue. So feel free to even converse with each other. I know lots of you have kind of side conversations going as I'm talking as well. So today we are going to talk about fall, and it is a kind of a fun day at TE. We're not releasing any new products. Instead, we're doing something a little bit different. So I'm going to show you some samples of projects that we have created in the past and new projects that we've created with products we've released in the past. And then we have a special promotion going on. So I'm going to share that with you guys as I flip down here so you can take a look at all of the pretty things that we have to share with you today. I won't be walking through all of these samples, probably just grabbing the new ones that designers have created using the previously released products, but I wanted to give you a full array of fall. You can see lots of the fun fall colors coming out, some unexpected color combinations, and we have such a great fall category at TE. And so this year, instead of releasing more fall products, we decided to do something a little bit different. We are re-featuring some of our old favorites, and with that comes a promotion for all of you. So something fun that we tried this summer that we really enjoyed was our mini mag. Mini mag, if you're not familiar with that term, I guess we kind of made it up, but mag is a magazine. So our mini mag this summer we did with a live event, and we're repeating that this fall with our Fall Fest mini mag. I have the physical copy right here. It is packed with project ideas, Taylor's fall favorites, so non-crafty items that I love for fall are in here. We have treat containers. We have ways that you can package gifts. We have cards. There are lots of pages here of content that we can't wait to share with you. So in order to get your own physical copy of our mini mag, all you need to do is purchase any product from our fall category. You can find that category by going to the website and clicking on the banner, and that will take you to the fall the Fall Y'all category, which is made up of all of our fall products that have been previously released to our catalog. So really fun stuff coming in here, and a little bonus perk. I'm not going to show it off on the live. Whitney has it all kind of taped off for me here, but you do get a special coupon when you get this booklet that is good for a discount on all of the products that are used within it. And then you are all invited to join me on October 3rd at 7 p.m. for a special live event. And we will be going through the contents of the book. We'll be giving away some of Taylor's favorite prizes, or Taylor's fall favorites as prizes, and of course walking through some fall projects as well. If you're not able to attend the live event, that's okay. You can rewatch it later as well. So that is what's happening, and you do need to purchase from that. In order to get this mini mag with your order, you would need to purchase from that fall category by next week, Tuesday. The promotion ends at 9 a.m. So there it is.
I'm going to get it now so I can have all the recipes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to say there's recipes in there. One of my family favorites is in there, along with a fun snack mix that you can make for the fall. So lots and lots of good ideas in there. All right, let's take a look at a few of these samples. These are new samples that the design team created using previously released products. Look at this cute pairing. This is the Pick of the Patch Cling and Clear combo. In this case, Heather just used the Cling stamp. The clear stamp, you can add jack-o'-lantern faces to these pumpkins. So this is a really great versatile set for both fall and Halloween. And she paired that with a couple of the sentiments from the Happy Harvest set that are in the category as well. All right, let's take a look at a few things that Sue did. So this one, look at how pretty that is. When she created this and I saw it kind of sitting on her desk, I just thought that background looks so much like fabric. I think it looks like a gorgeous kind of calico fabric. She embossed our Four Seasons background. It's a stamp and stencil combo. So she embossed the stamp and then stenciled over the top on this black cardstock. So in order to do that, in order to pop the color off of the black cardstock, she first blended with white ink and then laid the color over the top of that. So it took a little bit of time to build this background, but I think well worth it. And that one is in the category. It's called Four Seasons Stamp and Stencil Combo. And then I'll show you another one that she created with the Four Seasons, and this is just the background stamp. So it looks kind of fun on its own, has enough detail to stand on its own without the stencil layers as well. And both of those are really pretty. Let's bring another one on screen here with this one to show you a couple of ideas for using Astro Paste for the fall. And one of the fun things that Sue did on these cards is mix the colors together so you can see the variation along with the glitter. I wonder if she does have her list in here. I can see maybe which colors of the Lunar Paste. Oh, it looks like she used Astro Paste and Lunar Paste. Wow. Slippery When Wet, Bee Sting, and Roar were the Astro Paste that she used to make these really pretty cards using a mixture of colors. I think that's so fun. All right, then Susan, she decided to take our sweater weather kit and turn it into fall, which this looks so cute with that cable knit embossing folder in the background. And that's one of my favorite parts of the sweater weather kit. It is still available. It was our Christmas in July kit, but one of the best parts is that it goes through all the seasons. So don't find yourself without the sweater weather kit as we continue to show fall sweaters, Valentine's sweaters, in addition to Christmas sweaters, and you've already seen a Halloween sweater. So there's a lot of the year that qualifies as sweater weather, and I think this is a really fun way to show it for fall. And that kit is also in the fall category. All right, and then last we have a couple of new samples from Jill. This one is our fine lined leaf foilet, which she foiled with our pretty cookie monster or teal foil. And then she created a shaker with this script die. That's our thanks script is what that one's called. And some pretty fall colors, a few leaves with stitches down the middle. I think it's super cute. All right, then we have another one from Jill. So some of our larger leaves, this is the mosaic maple leaf and the mosaic oak leaf. And that particular die set has both a detailed mosaic die and then a backer that's solid, which is how Jill got the two different colors with the solid leaf behind the more detailed mosaic style leaf. Then we have the, I forget what that thanks die is called, but it is a really fun, more intricate thanks die that we have in our collection. It also has a backer to go with it. All right, so it looks like, I'm trying to see if I missed any questions. You guys are loving how that Astro paste was done. Somebody said, how do you do the background on the right? I think that might have been this one at the time. She just mixed that paste together and dragged it over the top of cardstock. It looks like chocolate truffle cardstock to me, but most of the cardstock is covered up with the paste, just kind of dragging that paste down in a kind of light coverage so it doesn't take a lot of time to dry, but that paste is so fabulously glittery that it will look colored over the top of your colored cardstock. Okay, so one of the other things that I wanted to share with you guys that's part of our fall category, we have not put one of these together before, but we have a fall cardstock bundle for you. This is a color combination that I picked out myself. I thought it was both unique and fun for fall. It includes oat milk, sweet potato pie, mulled wine, and then sour gummy. So these 4 packs of cardstock are available in a bundle. If you want to grab those, they also qualify to get you that mini mag that will come with your order. And today I am going to be using these 4 colors for a set of cards. Let me just pop them in here. This is another product that is part of the fall category that you may not have initially thought, that looks like fall. But when you pair it with these colors, look at how pretty that Garden Gallery, it's a Garden Gallery stamp and die combo, is the main image that we'll be using to create these cards. And then you see the shine of that foil. If I get it pointed towards the light in the right direction, you can see I used a couple different foils with another new product. So both of the products I'm using on the project, or 2 of the products that I'm using, were released during our customer recommended release, and I didn't get a chance to play with them at that time. And so now I'm taking them for a spin on this set of fall cards. All right. We have a couple people asking how to find the fall category. So if you click on the banner on the home page, that will take you to the fall collection. Or Whitney, I believe if you go to filter products by holiday, or is it under by holiday, Whit? Or by season, that's what it is. So under filter products by season and then fall, you will find it there as well. So if you're not clicking on that homepage banner, then you can go to the top navigation, hit filter products by season, and then fall. Okay, so let's get started on our project with a little bit of foiling. I'm gonna turn my machine on and let it heat up. I usually start with a setting of 3. I have a mini mink. I also have the large mink. It just kind of depends on, I use my mini for the lives because it's smaller and I can fit it into the screen. But typically when I'm crafting just normally in my room, I will use the large mink, which is nice. You can fit more into it, especially if you have our 8.5 by 11 carrier sheet and magic shim. You can fit more than one panel through the mink at one time. So today I pulled panels from a Foilet set called Foilet Gallery Mats. and this was an idea presented by a customer. She wanted to be able to have the outer border of the paper foiled so that you could then place another piece of paper over the top like a mat and have the edge of your panel be foiled in all the different colors of foil that we have. Obviously, we do have foil cardstock that you can cut down, but this gives you so many more options with the different foil colors that we have. So I'm going to be using, these two are the same and these two are the same. So I'm using 2 of the patterns from this pack. I'm actually going to be building my scene inside here, but you could also do what I just showed and kind of cover up these extra details and just use this as a plain mat if you want to use it that way too. So love the versatility of this, and I have found myself wanting to use these a lot. So let's go ahead and get our foil ready. I'm going to be using rose gold and champagne. I'll be doing 2 of them with champagne and 2 with rose gold. I'm going to use my new Fiskars scissors. We have so many scissors around here, and I don't know, this is the one that I'm grabbing for recently. It does still have that long blade on it, but it's got a nice comfortable grip. I'm not sure how I feel yet about the spring action scissors. I don't have kind of wrist or grip issues. So sometimes I think my muscle memory is so used to using scissors kind of in the normal way that I haven't quite gotten used to those yet, but we've got those around here as well. But I'm just gonna flip this over and go ahead and get a couple of these taken off of the roll. So 2 of the champagne and 2 of the rose gold. So what are everybody's favorite fall activities? What do you look forward to when the fall rolls around? Is it a certain weekend trip that you take? Or, well, I do know for a lot of you, Stamp Joy is in the fall, and I think somebody mentioned a little bit, I saw a comment fly by that Stamp Joy is a month away. So we are in full prep mode for getting ready for all of our, oops, I didn't quite get that in. So here's my little tip. Sometimes we have a sticker that we put on these to keep them closed, but what I like to do is pull the roll tight here, and then I put the lid on it to keep it from unraveling while I put it inside of the tube, and then I can just slide this on without, maybe I didn't do it very well, there, without getting it kind of crunched in there. Apple picking, that's a good fall activity. Pumpkin patch. We haven't done that yet here, but we usually go. I feel like pumpkin patches around here have become like an amusement park. Do you feel that way, Whitney?
Yes.
It feels like you go and they have everything. There's like a giant slide, and there's like a pumpkin launching cannon that you can do, and there's a trampoline, and so many things. You can of course feed the animals, and then you could pick flowers, or it is like an amusement park where you can almost not experience everything that's there in one day. Thanksgiving at the cabin. Oh, Aunt April says. My daughter, Maddie, is looking forward to the turkey trot. That's coming a little bit later this fall, of course, with Thanksgiving, but it is a 5K run that they do on Thanksgiving Day. Okay, so especially with all of the kind of thick foiled or toner on this piece of paper, I want to make sure that I'm wiping it. I just swipe it with a Swiffer cloth to get any of the dust particles off, and then we'll make sure that the foil covers all of the toner before we place it into our carrier here. And make sure that sits all the way inside the folder. And then I'll go ahead and send that through with the folded end of the carrier going in first. camping, walking the dogs in the fall weather. Yes, fall baking, Deb says. I should make a list while you guys are writing everything out.
All the things I want to eat, all the things I want to do.
Yes. And all the things I want to drink. I feel like fall drinks are the best drinks, like the apple ciders.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm not a huge pumpkin spice drinker, I guess. I don't drink coffee, so maybe that's why, but I don't really look forward to pumpkin spice latte or anything like that. But I know a lot of people do. Okay, so I set that one aside. Let's go ahead and do this next one here. We'll swipe on there. And this one, we'll go ahead and do gold, or champagne, I guess it is. I did not do the peel yet. I'm going to wait for it to cool just a little bit. That's always a good practice. And then while this one is going through, I'll bring this back now that it's cooled to the touch. And we'll just go ahead and peel that back. It's like magic. Love it. And then we do have some excess foil left over in the middle here that I can cut off and put back in my scrap drawer. But really you use the majority of the foil around the outside, and that's just not really worth saving. So we can toss that. Okay, next we're gonna go with, this one needs to be gold. Get my Swiffer out here, make sure got any dust off. It's like I need 4 hands when I do this process. All right, we'll set this one aside and let it cool. This one's going in, make sure it's all covered by the foil. We'll let that one go through. Terry, you like to go to the sunflower patch? Ooh, that's fun. Linda says Dutch Fest, a special fall family fun fundraiser day at school for special needs. Aww. Is that based on, do you call it Dutch Fest because of the Holland poem? I wonder if maybe you know about that. If you don't know, Linda, look up the Holland, the Going to Holland poem. It's about becoming a parent of a special needs child or grandparent or any of those. So I wonder if that's why they call it Dutch Fest. Okay, so let's go on with the last one. I've got 2 to peel once those get cooled off, and we'll finish this last one. I suppose it's probably a good idea just to kind of wipe the underside of your foil as well, just to make sure if you've had it sitting out or if you're taking it straight off the roll, it's probably not going to have any dust particles on it. All right, last one. April's going to Oktoberfest in September. I love that. All right, so here we go. This is the next peel with a little bit of champagne foil. Perfect, love that. All right, and then last, this one. Now, when there are lines in your foil, you can see up here, it looks like maybe it didn't get foiled, but really what happened is the foil got left behind in that area, and you just need to burnish it just a little bit to bring out that full detail of the line. So just run your finger across it, or you can grab your Swiffer again and rub that, and that will bring out, if it looks like the line isn't quite finished, that's just because the foil came off and it just needs to be flaked off of the top of the paper. Okay, we're gonna turn this off now. Our foiling is finished. Let's do our last peel. Love it. All right, I'm gonna run this up here again, same area. And you know what? This does happen to me sometimes too. I see people talking about foiling and how they might have like a little fleck I get some little flecks sometimes. For the most part, my results are pretty good to where I don't worry too much about it. But if you, let me see if I can just grab one here. Do you see right there? I do have a little speck there, but that's what makes these cards handmade. I don't think anybody's looking for perfection. It is something that I just kind of don't let it bother me. In a lot of cases, if it's in an area that I can trim it off, that's great. I will do that. Or sometimes I cover it up. But it does happen to me too. I know sometimes you guys wonder if everything I do just turns out perfectly every time. But this is one of those things that you do. It does happen when you foil. So don't let it ruin the fun and the process and the wow of the toner application of the foil. I think it just turns out beautifully and really makes your cards shine when you give them to people. So
those all look great.
All right,
so many people saying they need these foilets.
Yeah, now that you kind of see what they are used for and yeah, how you can use them. Somebody just asked a question. Is everything in the fall category included in the special for the magazine? Yeah, maybe, Candy, I'm not answering the question correctly. So
Yes.
In the current category, that's the fall category, if you purchase anything in that category, you will receive the mini mag for free with your order. Then when you get your mini mag, there is a coupon in there that is good for any of the products that are used in the mini mag, which are different from the products. Some are different. There are some overlaps, but but most of them are different than what was used in the mini mag. Hopefully that answers the question. Okay.
And someone else said this: if you add a product to cart from that, then the mini mag will add to your cart.
Okay.
So if you're ever wondering, the mini mag will show up if you add a fall category product.
So before you check out, if you're anticipating that you think you should be getting the mini mag, it will show up in your cart before you check out. So check on it as a line item, and then you'll know that it is coming. All right. Here we have the checking in background, and this is what I used kind of to set off this wheat looking stalk here with a background that looks more fall, stamped tone on tone with the ink color that matches the cardstock. I think that this checking in gingham style background works great for, gosh, it reminds me of just about every season. I can see picnic for summer. I see Easter. I see fall with this one. So I've been using this a ton. And so have our design team members, because I think, Whitney, you were saying 3 of us used it this week on our projects that we're sharing. So I'm using it today, and we've got a couple of YouTube videos coming out later this week that also use it. Okay, so the 4 colors that I'm using are from the cardstock pack that I showed you earlier. This is oat milk, mulled wine, sour gummy, and sweet potato pie. We're going to start with the lightest color when we do our stamping. I wondered if I could get 2 of these, but not quite. So we're just going to go in the middle here, and we're going to start with the lightest color because I am going to have to wash my stamp in between stamping the different colors. So oat milk to start. Grab my Just Press tool. So oat milk stamped on oat milk cardstock. I think I like how that looks. I might go one more time. This is meant to look more like fabric, so it's not supposed to be perfect solid squares. It's supposed to look a little bit sketchy, a little etched, a little fabric-like. So there's a little bit darker version with 2 stampings across that oat milk, and it is going to dry back. So when you get to when it's completely dry, it will end up looking something more like this side. You can see how it's quite a bit lighter as it dries. All right, next up, take a quick wipe with my baby wipe. This color isn't too intense, so I don't think it's going to affect the next color that I'm stamping. I just want to make sure I get it completely dry inside all of those little crevices there. Okay, next up, let's go with sweet potato pie. Tack that down in the center here, and we'll ink that up. All right, number 2. So when you guys are creating cards, do you typically like to mass produce, or do you, are you making multiples of similar cards at the same time? Or do you like to do one-off cards? I think it's probably, as card makers, it's a little bit of both. It kind of depends on your mood or the way the card is going. Can't quite get this one to come out for me. There we go. I know sometimes I start out creating something and then it takes a turn to something that I probably won't mass produce because, you know, you have an idea and you follow that idea, and then the complexity just kind of gets greater and greater, and you think, well, this is probably going to be one of those cards that I only make one of and send it to a very special person. And then sometimes you start out like, oh, I need 4 Thanksgiving cards, or I need 10 of them, and so I'm going to try to keep it kind of simple. Definitely multiples. Beth, you make sets of 4. Yes. Kimberly, you said you do one-off cards in the moment. Yeah, it kind of depends on what your purpose is. And if I'm sitting down to try a new technique or something like that, I'm probably more focused on that side of things than I am on making a bunch of something. So, but I do love a good mass producible project, which this one definitely is. Simple to mass produce. What did I do with my balled up baby wipe? All right, with this final color, because the red is pretty intense, Whitney, do you think you could grab me my, yeah, the Scrubby and the Stamper Spritz? So the red is a pretty intense color. I want to make sure I get it off before I continue with the blue. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with a deep purple version instead. So to do that, I'm going to grab my little handy dandy stamp scrubber. It's called the Clean Sweep if you're looking for this on the website. And mine is pretty dirty. You can remove these pads if you haven't seen this before. These pads are Velcroed on. You can remove them and wash them out and then reuse them. We also have replacement pads. So ours are getting a little bit dirty, but either way, when I wash this with my Stamper's Spritz, I'm always coming back with a baby wipe because our Stamper's Spritz gets amazing amounts of ink off of your stamps. However, it does leave a little bit of a sticky, not sticky, oily residue behind. So I just want to use my baby wipe to get that off, and then I have this beautiful clean stamp that is ready for the next color, which is going to be Sour Gummy. Here we go. Oh, somebody else mentioned a corn maze earlier, and I've gotten lost in 1 or 2 of those before. The corn is pretty high around here. Can't see over it. pull that one out. And I'll bring these back in so you can see where we ended up on those 4 pieces, all stamped with the checking in background, tone on tone with the coordinating ink color. Now we're going to go ahead, I'm going to remove this, and we're going to stamp and emboss our garden gallery image onto vellum. Another fun technique. So embossing on vellum is easy, it's quick. The nice thing is the paper is very thin, and so it heats up quickly and embosses quickly. So that is a plus of embossing on vellum. Here's what that garden gallery stamp and die combo looks like. So you get 2 sentiments, the image, and then the die comes with it as well. And then this particular die also works with our Foilet garden gallery panels. So we'll set that down on the vellum. Let's keep that in place with the magnet, and I'm going to powder over the surface, remove that residue. I've lost my Versamark pad. I know it's here.
It's up above your stamper spritz.
Ah! You can see it from all the way over there. Ah. Okay, should I tell the story of what I did this morning so everyone can understand where my brain is at? I think I come to realize that my brain is too full when I start doing things that are just like dumb. So this morning I had to really giggle at myself because I'm driving to work and I stopped at a stop sign, and then I sat there and I waited for the light to turn green. Did everybody hear what I said? I stopped at a stop sign where there is no traffic light. It is a stop sign. And then I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited. And then people started to pull up next to me. And I was like, why am I still sitting here? Not really sure why. I don't know. I was somewhere else in the moment. I forgot momentarily how to drive. Nobody honked at me. It wasn't a busy intersection, but I did sit there for a while. And then as other cars started to pull up, I think I was like, oh yeah, I don't have to sit here anymore.
Okay, a lot of people said they have done that.
Okay. Okay, great.
We're probably dreaming about your crafty daydreams.
I was thinking about probably thinking about my life, thinking about coming in and having fun, sharing a new project, and yeah, I don't know what I was somewhere else, waiting for that light to turn green. Okay, so we're gonna heat this up then. I used white embossing powder. You can see you gotta move kind of quickly. I should have grabbed my mini mitts because I'm gonna have to change position here to get down at the bottom. Oh yes, happens to all of us. Welcome to the club. Thanks. It was always a club I hoped to join. All right. Oh, and someone said, yes, better than blowing through the stop sign. Yes, that would have been bad. Although it wasn't busy and nobody was around, so... Okay, so I'm going to line up this die over the top of the embossed image, and we'll go ahead and cut that out. I'm not going to make you guys watch me do this three more times for all 4 cards. I already have 3 more of these that I embossed and die cut already. So we'll pop that out. And there's what that pretty image looks like embossed and then cut out from the vellum. You could even use gold embossing powder on the vellum. I think that would be really pretty, but with these already shiny mats, I thought adding more kind of that metallic tone wouldn't be a good choice. So that's why I chose the white, but I think on a different panel or a different layout without the foiled edges, another metallic colored embossing powder would look really pretty with this image. Okay, a little bit, ooh, sorry. Just me dropping things. I do have a little bit more embossing to do with a sentiment, so I'm going to grab another sentiment set that is part of the fall category. It's a clear set called Happy Harvest, and it has lots of good ones in here. There's a thanks and a grateful, falling for you, thankful for you, give thanks, happy harvest, and autumn blessings. So a good little set that has lots of sentiments that are perfect for fall. I am going to use give thanks. And then I'm also going to use, I'm going to pick that one up first. That one's going to be die cut, so I don't have to worry too much about it being straight. Then I use this tiny little thanks down here at the bottom. And if I position that right along the edge, I can just trim that with my paper trimmer. Then let's choose falling for you. You can say that to your husband, right? I fell for you a long time ago, but I'm going to use that one. Whitney, you just have to remind me to give it to John.
Okay.
All right, and I did try some of these longer ones on the image. I didn't love how they looked on there, so I'm going to stick with doing 2 of the give thanks. I guess I could do a grateful. Let's throw the grateful on there. So I have a grateful, a thanks, a give thanks, and a falling for you. For this one, I'm going to put it up the side here so I can make it straight along that edge. Pick that up. Okay, a little bit of powder again, and we'll do these 4 sentiments. Versamark again, and we'll do white embossing powder on these. I do find when you're doing embossing with these tiny little stamps that you just want a really little press on those. Not too much, or you will get kind of mushy embossed image. We have lots of crafting time together today. Can't believe I'm kind of making 4 cards pretty much. The cardstock, if I forgot to say this, I can't remember. I gotta get a little bit more over here. Can't remember if I forgot to say this, but this is mocha cardstock is what I am embossing the sentiments on. Seem to go well with the fall colors of the rest of them. Put the embossing powder away for a bit. Bring back the die cut machine, and we can die cut these with the coordinating Happy Harvest dies. I have the give thanks, and then is this one the falling for you? Yes. And then the other two will cut off of there after I cut these out. Okay. All right. Send those through. And then we'll peel these off and we can cut the other 2 sentiments. Love this trimmer because I can see that line, so I know exactly where I want to trim that sentiment so that it is perfectly straight for me. Then I am not, I am fine just taking my scissors and making that one last cut there. But if you want to send it through your trimmer again to get a more perfectly straight edge, if you don't feel confident in your scissor skills, you can do it that way as well. So we'll put this in and cut off the grateful. All right, there's all of our sentiments. This is the point in the live usually where I lose something or throw something away that I shouldn't have.
What? No way.
Never. Okay, one more thing to just to note about these gallery matte panels. They are full A2 card base size. So they're 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which gives you lots of options. You can cut them down to put them onto a card base, which is what I'm going to do for the cards we're making today. I'm just going to cut 1/8 of an inch off of each side so that that center panel remains centered. You can also do this with an A2 layer stacklet if you would prefer to do it that way. I would maybe, if you're going to do it that way, I would suggest die cutting it before you foil it, just because I don't want your die cut machine to mar your foil once you've applied it. But in order to get a border on the card base, I want to cut off 1/8 of an inch. So basically 1/4 of an inch is coming off total from each side. Hang with me here. We're getting here. I was doing one of these when I was making this set of cards and I cut it wrong and I did get frustrated. So sometimes I think it is better to use a die where you know that you're going to make the right cut, or you can see that it's centered the way you want it. I'm blaming it on the fact that I didn't have my usual trimmer. This is my personal favorite trimmer, and you know how you get used to your trimmer? I was using a different one and I just got the measurement off a little bit and didn't get it quite right. Okay, so we have these panels then. I've got 2 of the rose gold and 2 of the champagne, and I am pairing these up with, I thought the rose gold looked really nice with the red and the mulled wine and the sour gummy, and the oat milk looks nice with the warmer color of the sweet potato pie and the oat milk. So I can see I didn't quite measure this right, so I've got a little bit more trimming to do on these 2 particular panels here. So give me just a second. That looks a little bit better. And then this one as well. Okay. So here's what that will look like. I did pop each of these center panels up with our thin foam tape. I'm gonna go ahead and just finish let's finish the sour gummy one, and then you guys will know that you can finish the others the same way. But this is the part where it's like, you don't need to sit and watch me glue. All right, so these are our thin foam strips, 1 by 3. The thin foam is 1/32 is the depth on that. And so it gives you just a little bit of pop without becoming overwhelming, especially if you're gonna pop more than one part of your project. Center that inside here. All right, now I have my leafy frond. I'm going to hide the foam tape behind the embossed leaves, and they are pretty fine detail in there, so I'm gonna need to use my scissors to cut apart, which I've already done here. You can see that I've started to fringe my foam, so to speak, so that I can fit some of those smaller pieces behind these leaves. And there are only a couple of spots that can take something long, and then you've got to cut the length in half and use some little half rectangle pieces. And then you have to get the backing off of them. That can be the trickiest part. Now I'm not putting it on every single leafy part because I do like how they turned out and they were a little bit wispy. So having a few of those edges that can still come off of the paper and aren't glued down solid is gives it that airy look a little bit. And if you don't want to fuss with foam tape, you can use liquid adhesive and just hide it behind the white embossing powder and adhere it directly down to your project as well. And then we'll center that here. There we go. And then last we have our sentiment. I'm gonna do the give thanks, I think, and we'll position that right up here, I think is about where I had it before. I'm just gonna use regular liquid adhesive to adhere it down to this part here. Make sure it's straight. And then white card bases is what I did with all of these, just our sugar cube top folding card base. A little bit of liquid adhesive on the back of that. And center it on your A2 card base. And then one last little step I wanted to show you guys. This is part of the fall category in order to get your mini mag. So I wanted to show you the insiders that we have. These are our insiders Thanksgiving. And if you plan to use these as Thanksgiving cards, they're a great time to just pop those inside this fall card. May Thanksgiving be filled with love, laughter, and cherished moments. I love this one. Thanksgiving is a time to appreciate the people who make our lives meaningful. You are one of those people. There are a few other ones in here as well. Here's one. This Thanksgiving, we are grateful for the food before us, the friends beside us, and the love between us. I'm gonna go ahead with this one. These are also toner printed, so you can foil them if you choose. But they're already sized at 4 by 5 1/4, so they're the perfect layer to just pop right inside your card, and then you can sign your name or your family's name or write a little message if you want. I didn't quite get that centered. I need to push it around a little bit. There we go. All right, there it is. Let me bring back all of the colors so that you can see them all together. And all of these are part of the cardstock bundle that we put together for you guys in the Fall Y'all category. So there we go. A nice little set of cards. All right, let me say a proper farewell here. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I know that Susan is going to be back here on Thursday, so maybe I'll see you then, but definitely mark your calendar to tune in and see what Susan is up to. She'll be sharing some more fall projects, bringing back some of our fall favorites and showing you new ways to use them on your fall projects this year. All right, everybody, have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.